Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I got people waiting. I got people waiting. And I don't want to keep anybody waiting. It's bad enough you got to wait for this K1 visa. So let's start the ball rolling with this live chat. And today is Happy Monday. I think it's Monday. I'm losing track of days. But I want to thank the following cities. People are watching this channel from all over the world, ladies and gentlemen. People are watching this show from everywhere. New York, New York City, upstate New York, Los Angeles, California, Bogota, Colombia. That's got to be Karina, right? You know she's watching the show. Pace, Florida, Chicago, Illinois, Miami, Florida, Houston, Texas, Stonecrest, Georgia. I've never been to Stonecrest, Georgia. Fleury-Mérogis, France. We got people watching from there. Dallas, Texas. Las Vegas, Nevada. Charlotte, North Carolina. Everybody in Charlotte. Accra, Ghana. Lagos, Nigeria. Now, Philippines. We got a lot of people watching us from the Philippines, ladies and gentlemen. We got people watching us from La Calota City, Philippines, Quezon City, Philippines, Cebu City, Manila, which is the capital, right? That's the capital city. Davao City, Makati, Philippines, Makati. I hope I spelled that. Did I say that right? Correct me. Antipolo, Philippines, Mantilupa, Philippines, Nouakchott, Mauritania. Where is that? I've never heard of it. Baltimore, Maryland. That's got to be Sheena. Labuan, Malaysia. Kingston, Jamaica. Columbus, Ohio. Spring, Texas. Never heard of that place, but it must be there. Mexico City, Mexico. Kenitra, Morocco. Lima, Peru. Our friends in Lima, Peru. Santiago, Chile. Istanbul, Turkey. Parkwood, Washington. West Sacramento, California. Dearborn Heights, Michigan. Portland, Maine. Portland, Maine. Moultrie, Georgia. Tampa, Florida. Havana, Cuba. You're watching us from Havana, Cuba? I didn't know they let you have internet in communist Cuba. I thought they had. I didn't. I thought they blocked internet in Cuba. But if you're watching us from Cuba, God bless you. I'm glad you got a way to watch. Hyderabad, India, Ludhiana, India, Seattle, Washington, Nairobi, Kenya, Gainesville, Florida, Lusignan, Guyana, Annaba, Algeria, Bowie, Maryland, London, England, Dhaka, Bangladesh. Jacob Meyer says, hello, good evening, Diego. What's going on, Jacob? Benjamin Fredericks, Richfield, Washington here. Good to see you, Diego. What's going on, Benjamin? Good to see you. I'm in Pensacola, Florida. Well, not actually in Pensacola. I'm on the east side of Pensacola, north of Navarre Beach. Okay, in Santa Rosa County, Florida, in the Panhandle. Eileen Abaca, hello. I'm one of your fans here from the Philippines, the beautiful Philippines. Well, we're glad you're here and join us with this live stream. We're glad you're here. Susie Galdamez, hello, Diego. Good evening. What's going on, Susie? Danny, Costa Rica, Costa Rica. That's going to probably pop up on my list here. James Wright, Diego, the man with the plan. Well, I got a plan for you guys. I got a plan to help you get your K1 visa, right? So you don't stress this process. Be patient. James Wright, Cebu, Philippines. Yes, Cebu. It's a beautiful part of the Philippines. I think it's central, right? Central on the west coast. Benjamin Fredericks. Wow, look at right off the bat. I get a super sticker, super chat with a one in it from Benjamin Fredericks. Thank you. Much appreciated. Those super chats are appreciated. And Contain This is in Houston. Whoop Slap is still at. Hello, Diego. I'm still at the MVC. What are you doing at the MVC, Whoop Slap? You need to get home. Get home. Don't. What are you doing in New Hampshire? You're at the MVC in New Hampshire. Well, you knocking on the door? Great big minds. Hey, Diego, I got all my vaccinations done. Ooh, oh. When it was medical exam, they didn't accept vaccines, and they gave me 4 shots of vaccines. Well, you got 4 more extra ones. So you are honored and privileged to have those 4 extra vaccinations. So your body is totally, absolutely 100% protected. Christopher Brown in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Utsav, Davenport, Iowa. Okay, beautiful Iowa. Mr. Nahas. Hi, Diego. Mr. Nahas now is our friend from Iraq. Okay, beautiful Iraq. One day I want to go there for vacation and go see all the historical sites in Iraq. Kaiser H. Hello, Diego. Did you get any updates regarding the Declaration of Financial Support Form I-134 from USCIS? No yet. Kaiser H. When the new form comes out, when the new I-134 comes out, guess what? I'm going to tell you guys about it. You're going to be the first to know. You will be the first to know what's going on with that form. Francois Livingston. Good evening, Diego. Francois. And let's see, that super chat, Benjamin, much appreciated. Thank you so much. Great big minds. I got an MMR twice. Okay, and I got mumps. Now it made me sick and swell. Yeah, the mumps vaccination will make you a little sick. Poco enferma, lo siento, pero es necesario. It's necessary. Okay, you got to have these vaccinations. All right, get it done in your home country so it's cheaper. Because it costs a lot of money in America to get those vaccinations. It's much cheaper to get it done in your home country. And then you get through all the owies and the owies and it hurts so, and you're done with all that. So when you get to the United States, all you got to focus on is your wedding, right? You don't have to worry about the vaccinations. Just focus on your wedding and everything else. Fardus Mohammed. I am applying fiancé visa April 24th. When is it approved? Well, if you applied April 24th, 2023, probably by March of 2024, you will hear from immigration. It's about 11 months now. It's the turnaround. Benjamin Fredericks, Mountain Dew for you. Well, thank you. I will do that. I can stock up on Mountain Dew. Abdihali Kayeta. Hi, Diego. I want to send an email to the embassy in Dakar, Senegal. Okay, because 35 days ago, they have my case. I have no news. You got to relax. You got to be patient. Send them an email. Say, hey, 35 days ago, you got my case. What's going on with my K1 visa? And they're going to return back an email to you and say, can you just chill out and relax and give us time? The embassies are busy, guys. They're going to take care of you. They haven't forgotten about you. Just got to be patient. It's going to take probably 8 weeks for me to get an interview for Karina in Bogota after I get the welcome letter. And I'm just chilling out. Yeah, I got my hats right here. Where are they at? Right here. See right here? Boom. Karina, she bought those hats for me, sombreros. She got me one in Bogota and one in Cartagena. She's a great negotiator too. You should have seen her. Woo! What a negotiator. Jeff Mantalk, man, that's a home run there. Thank you for that super chat. Thanks. Jeff Mantalk says, thank you for all the great information we get from your live chats. I'm going to get you through this process easily, stress-free, and I'm going to help you relax because you got to quit stressing the process. Abdihali, Keita, relax. There's no problems at the embassy, okay? Great big minds. I got mumps after the vaccination. Well, that's not good. But now you're good. Now you're protected for life. Susie Galdamez, I got my welcome letter in actual paper today. Woo! High five, Susie. Lindsay Dorr. Hello, Diego. When NVC will start sending invitations for family reunification for Haiti. I'm really not paying close attention to that for family reunification. I'm more focused on K1 visas, okay? But if you want to get a family reunification for your family member from Haiti, that's great. We want you to do it, but you got to go online and do it through you got to file the I-134A, okay? Do it online. Ashish Karki. Hello, Diego. What's going on, Ashish? Benjamin, Diego, do you know how long the MVC letter is taking for the Philippines? 90, 100 days like the rest. Yeah, 90 to 100 days. It's about 90 to 110 days, 120 days. MVC treats everybody equally, okay? You got to wait 90, 100 days, 85 days, somewhere in there. 120 days, that's the longest I've seen. Great big minds. Hold on. Wait. James Ray. Sorry, James. Hi, Diego. Thanks for all. We got our welcome letter July 18th. Okay. Let's see. I don't want to miss you guys here. And in about 2 weeks, our status says ready, but still have not received our interview. No, James, you have to set up the interview. The MVC doesn't do it. The embassy doesn't do it. You do it. Mr. Sponsor, you are in charge of your K1 visa interview. Okay? So if you got ready status, if you have a ready status, okay, let me see here. Did you get the ready status? You got the welcome letter and it says ready. Okay, so email the embassy and say, hey, what do I do now? Send them an email and go into the SEAC account, put in the capture code, look for your beneficiary's country, and start processing the K1 visa. You're ready. The embassy's waiting on you. Don't be waiting on them. If you're waiting on them, you'll be waiting for eternity. You have to go and be proactive. You have to email the embassy. You got to go into the SEAC account, the Consular Electronic Application Center. Go and put in the capture code, okay? Put in your beneficiary's country. Look for her country or his country, and then start processing the visa. Okay? You got it? So, James, you got to get proactive. Great big minds. They didn't give me my report. They sent it directly to the embassy. Okay? Or email the embassy and tell them, hey, what's the status? Give me some direction. Every embassy's got its own way of doing stuff, guys. Some embassies make you pay through the SEAC account. Some embassies make you pay for the visa at the bank that they tell you got to pay the visa fee at. All right. Now remember, the DS-160 is a free form. You don't pay for that. That's totally free. But you do have to pay for the visa. Okay. And like Karina, I believe she's going to have to pay for the visa. I'll give her the money, but she has to pay for it at a bank in Bogota, if I remember. Abidali, but the problem is I don't not know their email to ask the level of my case. So you need the email address to Senegal, the embassy in Senegal. Okay, well, Google U.S. Embassy Senegal and see what pops up. Google it. And then go into the embassy website and look for their communication. Look for their contact information. And if you get really stuck, let me know. And by the next live stream, I'll have it for you. Great big minds. I was sick. That's why I was not able to come to the live chat. Well, great big minds. I hope you're feeling better now. Okay. Mumps. I had mumps when I was a little kid. When the neighbor's kid down the street had mumps. So my mom grabbed me by my collar and dragged me to his house. And then I got mumps from him. But this was back in the 60s. Okay. But we didn't have vaccinations for mumps. We had, you go hang out with the kid who's got mumps and everybody gets mumps. And that's how you get immunized from it. But that was back in the day. Now you just get a shot in the arm, which is a lot easier. But it hurts, right? Oof. But I'm sorry you were feeling sick, great big minds. I hope you feel better now, okay? If you don't feel good, go lay down. Benjamin Fredericks, Diego, you have a great attitude and all the information you provide is extremely helpful. So thank you. Benjamin, I've been through this K1 visa twice successfully. I've been through a spousal visa once successfully. Okay. That was a horrendous experience, by the way. I'll never go through a spousal visa ever again. That was a nightmare. But the K1 visa is the way to go. It's so much easier to do. Okay. Now it may be more expensive, a little more costly. Okay, no, but who cares about money at this point, right? All we care about is getting our fiancés to America so we all can get married, right? The money part of it is irrelevant. Okay. Just focus on getting your loved one to the United States so you can get your life started. That's the goal. And then I put the channel together. It was Karina's idea. We put the channel together to help you guys. There's probably not one question you can ask me that I don't know the answer to in a K-1 visa or a spousal visa. Now, when it comes to family reunification or B2 tourist visas, I have a little bit of knowledge about it, but primarily I know about the K-1. Let's see. Benjamin. Well, thanks again, Benjamin, for your support on the channel. Teja Sweeney. So I emailed the MVC, and they said that for this type of visa, we do not provide a welcome letter. They gave me a case number and an invoice number and a beneficiary ID. That's all you need. That's the welcome letter, basically. Okay? The welcome letter is the case number, the invoice number, and the beneficiary ID. With that information, you can start processing your K-1 visa in the travel docs section of the SEAC account, and it will tell you what to do. You click on your beneficiary's country. Karina's in Colombia. Even though she's from Venezuela, she lives in Colombia as a legal resident. I'll go to Colombia. Boom, I'll click on there and get the process started. But I'm still waiting on the welcome letter. Or if you want to call it something else, let's call it the action ready letter from the MVC. Action ready. Let's forget about calling it a welcome letter, okay? The MVC is not very welcoming, is it? But the embassy is. They want to help you. The embassy wants to help you get your K-1 visa put in your beneficiary's passport. They want to get it done. They're not trying to stop you. They're not trying to block you. They're trying to help you. All you got to do is qualify for the visa. And you made it this far, right? You made it this far. And what do you think? I got the air conditioner on. I'm not melting in my office here in Florida. I'm not melting. It's almost September too. Thank goodness. It's going to get cooler. Hopefully, please. Let's see here. I don't want to miss anybody. Lots of questions. Abdihali, is there a possibility to check if my case is ready because I have nothing to tackle it at the embassy level? Well, you're going to have to either wait, because it's only been 35 days. It hasn't been very long. You're in the wait mode, okay? You're in the wait mode. Got to be patient. Teja Sweeney, they said they will let me know when the case is transferred to the embassy. There you go. You got to wait for the embassy to get it. You got to wait for the MVC's on the phone to the embassy. Are you guys busy? Yeah, we're busy. Don't send us anything right now. Okay. Your package will sit at the MVC, and then the MVC will wait 2 weeks or a week. Now call the embassy up again. Hey, you guys busy? No, we're not busy. Send us what you got. The MVC will then pack your visa up and put it on a plane, DHL flight, to the country of origin of your beneficiary. They use DHL. That's the company, okay? Let's see. So you got to wait for the embassy to inform you that they have it. And then Teja Sweeney, but they said I could pay the fees. Well, pay the fees. Go pay for your visa. Don't be confused. There's nothing confusing about it. Do what they tell you to do. Pay the visa fee. Get it paid for. That locks in your visa. Okay, that means once you pay the visa fee, okay, then you can relax on that 4-month expiration date on the NOA2 letter, which doesn't, matter anyway. But if you pay the visa fee, you're locked in your visa. You've locked it in. Then you don't have to worry about the visa terminating or expiring because you paid for it already. Let's see. Great. So, and Teja Sweeney, but they said I could pay. What should I do? Pay the visa fee, Teja Sweeney. Pay for it. Pay it. Great big minds. Because of you, we've done our whole case without the help of anybody. But just you and my interview date is September 19th. Well, great big minds. I saved you about $4,000 in immigration attorney fees. And that makes me feel good because you can use that $4,000 for a vacation, buy a wedding dress, have a little, have a nice little reception after your wedding. Use the money for your wedding. Okay? Right? So that's good news. I'm glad. I'm very happy. That's good. So you are on a roll, okay, without paying for an attorney. Let's see. James Wright, hit the thumbs up, for folks. It will help others find the chat. That's true, guys. Now, I never ask you to subscribe to this channel. I never ask you to do it. You either like it or you don't. You know how YouTube works, right? YouTube, you know how it works. I don't have to explain YouTube to you. Okay, so I don't do that ridiculous like and subscribe. I don't do that. It's I don't do that. I get really irritated when I watch a YouTube channel on how to play guitar. I'm playing electric guitar. I'll watch a YouTube channel on how to play electric guitar. First thing they tell me, like and subscribe. Why? I don't know if your channel's any good. Why would I subscribe to something that's no good? Why would I do that? Let me watch the channel first and see if it's worth it. So I don't ever tell you or ask you, or no, I never say that. Let's see. But the thumbs up, if you do hit the like on the videos or whatever, what it does is it affects the algorithm for YouTube. And if you get a lot of likes, if you think the information is good and the content is useful, then YouTube will send it out to other people who are trying to get a K-1 visa. How they do that, I don't know. I'm not a scientific engineer. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And the likes what helps, but I don't ask you to do it. Let's see here. Utsav Upahai. Who needs to pay the visa fee? Me or my fiance? Either one of you. You pay it, the sponsor can pay it, the beneficiary can pay it. But somebody's got to pay it. Immigration don't care who pays it as long as it gets paid. All right? So, Mr. Sponsor, if you have a computer in front of you and you went into the SEAC account and you went into your U.S. travel docs and you went into your beneficiary's country and it tells you pay for your visa fee here, pay for it. Save the stress on your beneficiary. Now, Karina's in Colombia. I got a feeling that she has to pay for the visa fee in a bank in Bogota, I think. If anybody in here is from Bogota watching, let me know if that's correct. But that's what it was in the past. So I'll get on a plane, I'll fly to Colombia, and I'll go with Karina and pay the visa fee at the bank. And then get the receipt, the MRV receipt, the MRV receipt. Got to have the receipt. Got to prove you paid your bill. Let's see. Abdali, how are they going to tell me that my case is ready because I'm not a case tracker? Well, you just told me that it's at the embassy for 35 days. How did you know that? How did you know that? You can send inquiries to the NVC. You can email the embassy. You said you don't have the email address to the embassy. Where is it? Senegal? You got to find it. Okay? You got to be, the immigration officers want you to be proactive and figure it out. And I'll help you figure it out. If you don't know, inquiry to the NVC. Google the embassy. Look for the contact information for the embassy. Call the embassy. There's phone numbers there. Karina can call the U.S. Embassy in Bogota. Remember when the NVC said the embassy in Bogota was closed because of COVID? What a bunch of that was a big story, right? So Karina calls the embassy. Hey, what's going on? Oh, we're good. We're processing K-1 visas. Karina, what's your passport number? Karina gave the embassy officer her passport number. Well, we don't have your case yet. No, I don't. I know you don't have my case, said Karina. I just want to know if you're processing visas. Yeah, we are. You got to call the embassy. G34HMO. Hi, Diego. Big fan. High five. Thanks for watching, G34. We appreciate you watching the show. Hopefully you learned something from, I want you to learn something each time you watch the live stream. I want you guys to try to learn something from it. Great big minds. No, you took it wrong. My medical exam, they didn't give me the report. They sent it to the U.S. Embassy, where my interview is on September 19th. Okay, that's okay. great big minds, if they mailed your medical exam to the embassy, that was one thing less you don't have to carry. All right? But make sure you got everything else with you in your hand. Francois Livingston, Diego, I want to understand something. Okay. When USCIS receive a K1 visa application, does a human being actually look at what's actually inside the package? Most definitely. Twice. Now, K1 visas go through a strict security check, okay? There are two things that the immigration officer is looking for in a K1 visa. The two main things. They're looking for a real relationship, which is provided by evidence, and they're looking for security checks. You make sure the sponsor is not a felon, a convicted criminal of any major crimes. So security and relationship being real are the two things that K1 visa officers look for. And in the past, it used to go to one person. A K1 visa used to go to one person. They'd review it. They'd go in the computer. They'd put the social security number of the sponsor in the computer, check her out, do all that, and then they send it to the MVC. And there wasn't, it was all none of this scanning documents, none of this stuff. Now it's different. Now it's all technically advanced. But the K1 visa now goes through 2 security checks. That's why it doesn't process as quickly as it used to in the past. Okay? A person gets your K1 visa. They check it out. Okay? Then another person gets it and they check it out. Second time, it gets 2 reviews. Now, let's suppose the second reviewer and the first reviewer are not comfortable with the information in the K1 visa. They're not comfortable with it. They don't think the relationship is real. They think it's a fraud. They'll send it to a third person, and it goes to the fraud detection unit. Okay, on this tree right here. So that's the service center in California, right here. That's the California Service Center right here. And then 2 people will look at it. And if they don't like what's in the visa package, they send it over here to fraud detection. Okay? And that's why it takes a little bit longer for the process to go through the system. But once you get the NOA2 letter, you survived the security checks, you survived the reality check. Okay, and the fraud check, you survived, and you paid the right amount. You paid the $535, and everything's good. You're good to go. Now it goes to the MVC, the National Visa Center in New Hampshire. What they will do is they will do a security check on the sponsor, a second on me or on the sponsor. They take my social security number, they run it through the FBI, and they run it through the state and local and everything to make sure that, I don't have a criminal record. Okay? And then when they've cleared me, they will do a security check on Karina also. And once that's done, and once the embassy gets unbusy, they mail it to the embassy. And then the embassy's ready for you. And then you do the DS-160. You fill it out. You pay the visa fee. Okay? Then you get on a plane, or your benefit if you want to be with your beneficiary. I'm going to fly to Colombia very soon. I'm going to still do the live stream from Bogota, Colombia for you guys. I'm not going to forget about you. Okay? And we'll walk you through the process. So yes, to answer the question, Francois, people look at the package. They touch it with their hands. Alex Mo, hey Diego, I'm on my 2nd month waiting for welcome letter. Do I need to email as well? If you're on your 2nd month, Alex Mo, you got another month to go. So you got to get kicked back in your cabana chair and wait another 30 days. G34MHO, do you have any updates on the Mexican consulate wait times for scheduling an interview? It's 2 to 6 months in Ciudad Juarez, in Mexico. It's about 2 to 6 months wait time. Depends on what's going on per month. Every month, every week is different. Sometimes the embassy in Mexico will get, let's suppose they get 50 K1 visas, and then another time they get 10, and another time they get 2, and then they get 100. It depends on how busy they are. So Alex, that hopefully helped you. Also, let me see. Sasha Lee, hey Diego, it's 13 days and still didn't receive my NOA2 letter. You should have got it by now. Sasha Lee, you should have got it. Now, I would send maybe an inquiry in 2 or 3 days. After 15 days, contact the service center, wherever it is your visa went to, in probably California, and ask them, where's my NOA2 letter? You need that letter. You got to have it. Jason Mabry, I got an update that USCIS launched a new form for the interview request. You know what that's all about? I have no idea. What the heck is it, Jason? Tell us. If you know something I don't know, now that's good. Tell everybody what it is. I have no idea. They have a new form for interview requests. Everything's done online. What do you mean a form for an interview request? It's all done online through the SEAC, right? You schedule your interview online through the SEAC travel docs. So how are you going to upload a form? I don't think so. I don't think there's a new form for update for scheduling interviews, honestly. But if there is, tell us about it. Francois Livingston, I'm trying to understand why we waited 13 months. I'm thinking all this good only to be given an RFE. You waited 13 months because you had 55,000 other people but in line with you waiting for their K-1 visa to get adjudicated. Okay, it's not just one person. Okay, there's an average between 55 to 100,000 people submit K-1 visas every year. That's a lot of people. That's a football stadium full of people, right? And they don't have 50,000 employees. They don't have a USCIS immigration officer per visa. One immigration officer will probably look at 10, 20, or 30 K-1 visas a day, usually probably between 10 and 20 a day. Okay? And they do a thorough check. So it takes time. It takes months and months and months to get it done. And then it goes through a second security check. And then you get back, then you have to get in line again. It's not a quick process. Okay? So in order to survive this thing with a calm demeanor, you have to get used to the fact that this is going to take a long time. Just accept it. Once you accept it and you understand there's nothing you can do about it, you're going to be fine. And you'll get your visa and your beneficiary will get on a plane and come to America and you guys will get married. Right? But within 90 days, you got to do it within 90 days. And then you said you were given an RFE. Okay, so it took them 13 months to get your visa package. Okay, and you missed something in the package. When you put the package together, you forgot something, right? Immigration didn't do that. The sponsor did that. If the sponsor forgets something, that's not USCIS's fault. That's the sponsor's fault. Okay, so if you get an RFE, don't worry about it. It just means you forgot to do something and they want to see it. Right? So the sponsor who gets an RFE creates the problem for himself or herself because they didn't pay attention when they put the K-1 visa package together, right? But now you're on this channel, right? And you can ask questions and you're not going to make those mistakes anymore, right? You're not going to make mistakes. If you haven't mailed your K-1 visa package in yet, ask me questions. Ask me. If it's correct, and I'll tell you. Teja Sweeney, but they said that we need a mail saying the case has been transferred to the embassy, and I still haven't received that. So you're waiting for the embassy to send you ready status, right? Gotta wait. You can do it. It's no problem. Ooh, we got lots more stuff going on. Panette Kaur, it's been 54 days since my approval. Okay. That's great. 54 days. So you got another 40 plus days to go. The Mosquito Guy, Diego, is it a big problem if the sponsor moves to a new state during the K-1 visa application process? Is this anyway going to disqualify the application from being approved? No. Mosquito Guy, if somebody wants to move in the middle of a K1 visa process, then move. But you better make sure you tell the service center where you move to. Because if you don't, your NOA2 letter is going to go to your old address, right? You need the NOA2 letter in order to process the embassy, the visa interview. You need the NOA2 letter for your green card. If you got to include the NOA2 letter in your adjustment of status paperwork for the green card. Okay? So if you move, Mosquito Guy, make sure you tell immigration where it is you move to. Make sure you tell the post office your new address in your new place. I don't care if you move from California to Alaska, you got to tell immigration your new address in Alaska. You got to tell the post office in California that you're moving to Alaska and to forward your mail to this new address. You got to tell immigration, you got to tell the post office, and then let's suppose you sell a house, okay? Let's suppose you sell a house and you want to move from Florida to Texas. Let's suppose I sell my house and I move to Texas, okay? The new person that buys this house, the new person, okay, I'm going to give them my address in Texas. I am waiting for mail from immigration. I'm going to tell them, okay, I'm going to notify USCIS. I'm going to notify the post office, my new address in Texas, and I'm going to tell the new person that buys this house, this is my address in Texas. If you get any correspondence from Homeland Security, send it to me, please, and give them $20 for the effort, all right? It's okay to move, Mosquito Guy. You're good to go. Go ahead. If you want to move, go ahead. But listen to what I say. Tell immigration where you are. And tell the post office your new address and tell the person that you sell your house to your new address or your townhouse or your apartment. Oh, it's kind of hard. If you're renting an apartment, you want to make sure you tell the person, your landlord, your new address. Okay? Stop the mail going to that address. Tell the post office, stop the mail, and make sure it goes to your new address. Paya, India. Hi, Diego. Still waiting on NOA2, July 21, 22 filer. Okay. They got about 150 July 2022 K1 visas left to close out. They're almost done with July. You'll get your NOA2 letter here very soon. Retro Rock and Roll. Hi, Diego. A week ago, I received MVC email with new case number and old case number. I filed the DS-160. I tried to pay for visa through Juarez in Mexico embassy, but it doesn't let me. Did you press immigrant visa or non-immigrant visa? You got to press immigrant visa for it to let you go in and pay and get it done. Retro Rock and Roll. Do I need to wait for them to review my DS-160 so I can pay for visa? They're not going to review squat unless you paid for the visa. The immigration officer is not going to look at your DS-160 until you've paid for your visa. Okay? They don't work for free. Okay? Now, the DS-160 is a free form that you file. It's free, but you got to pay for the K1 visa in order for the immigration to start working on your K1 visa package, whether it's at the embassy, excuse me. Okay? You got to pay for the visa. Got to pay. You got to cough up the money. You got to let the U.S. government stick their hand in your bank, take your money, and then you're in play. You're not in play if you haven't paid for your K1 visa. You're sitting on the sidelines watching the game. You need to get in the game, and you get in the game by paying for the visa fee. And then that also cancels out any expiration dates on NOA2 letters. Once you pay the visa fee, you're good to go. Raya Redford, still waiting. July 8th, 2022, driving me nuts. Ryan Redwood, you please don't let immigration drive you nuts. Why are you letting them rent space in your head? Why? You're in a process, Okay, you're going to get your NOA2 letter. You just don't have it yet. Okay, immigration isn't driving you nuts. You're driving yourself nuts because you're not patient. Right? Got to be patient. Your turn is coming. I promise you. Your turn's coming. You just got to wait. Okay? You're on traffic. You're on, you're in Santa Monica in California in rush hour traffic trying to get to your Starbucks, and you can't get there because traffic's backed up for 2 miles and it's going to take you 2 hours to get there. Well, you're in that traffic jam. You're just waiting for the traffic to get freed up. Okay? Be patient. Let me see. Retro. Will they also send me a paper welcome letter? Yes. But you get an email first. Mackenzie Owens. No NOA2 today. Hopefully I'll get it this week. Yeah, you'll get it, Mackenzie. You're going to get it. NOA1 was August 19th of last year. Yeah, so you're right in the window right now. You're very close. Another week, maybe sooner, maybe tomorrow. Or you might get it tomorrow. Abdallah Kayeta, MVC once sent me an invoice ID and a beneficiary invoice number, but without box number. I don't know why. I don't know why either. Okay? You're just waiting for ready status. Okay? Get the ready status, go into the SEAC account, the Consular Electronic Application Center, CEAC. That comes on the email. You get an email from the MVC, and they tell you what to do. They say, go in here, right? And start processing the visa. So Alex Mo, what is a SEAC account? That is CEAC, Consular Electronic Application Center. It's a website that the State Department runs to process visas. The State Department is 100% in control of this process. They own your visa, okay? And then when you qualify for it, they give it to you. And you process it through the SEAC account. Retro, Melanie, so you got an email from MVC and a few days later you received the paper welcome letter. That's how it works. Hang Horn, it's been 1 week and there's still no available interview date. Is this normal for the embassy in Cambodia? Yes. Cambodia, yes. But you will get your K1 visa interview scheduled in Cambodia. They're giving interviews. You just got to wait for an open slot. N187, greetings, my friend. Random question. As an American, what do you think of the gun laws? I'm Irish, and I find it particularly frightening how nearly everyone can have a firearm. Well, let me answer your question, N187. The Second Amendment of the United States Constitution, which was written by our founding fathers, grants the American citizen the right to own a firearm. Okay, and the reason for that is because our founding fathers wanted us to be able to protect ourselves from a government that gets tyrannical. Okay, so let's suppose we all of a sudden got this communist president and a communist Congress, and they started telling everybody, oh, by the way, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. We're gonna run the United States like communist Cuba. Well, the thing is, all Americans are armed to the teeth. So the U.S. government knows not to do that because the Constitution of the United States of America gives the American citizen the right to remove a government that does that by force if necessary. Okay? Remember, we are a constitutional republic, and the U.S. government works for us. We don't work for them. We tell them what to do. They don't tell us what to do. But if a government got all this power in its head and decided that they all of a sudden were going to tell us what to do without being representative, the U.S. citizen has a right to remove that person and by force, which is why we have a Second Amendment, which is why everybody has a gun. Not to go squirrel hunting. People go hunting, they go shoot ducks and they go shoot deer and they go hunting for their lunch. Okay, that's great. But that's not the reason of the Second Amendment. Okay? Now, this isn't a constitutional channel. This is a K1 visa channel. But if you're going to be coming to America, you got to understand the rules and the laws of our Constitution, right? The Second Amendment comes after the First Amendment. The First Amendment is backed up by the Second Amendment. The First Amendment says that you can speak your mind, you can petition the government, you can tell the government, I don't like this, I don't like that. You have freedom of speech, you have freedom of religion. Okay? If you want to be a Christian, if you want to be a Muslim, if you want to be a Jew, if you want to be an atheist, if you want to pray to the trees of the redwood forests, you can do that in America. You have a right to do that. The First Amendment protects you. Okay? And then the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms, protects you to keep that right in case a government tries to take it from you. All right? So that explain it to you. Did I help you there? Okay? American citizens are free people. If they want to buy a gun, they'll buy a gun. Okay? If they don't want to buy one, they don't have to buy one. They can hopefully they got the neighbor that has got one. But that's it. It's constitutional. Okay? It's written into our laws of our country. And so what do I think of the gun laws? I think they're great. I think gun laws, there's actually really only one gun law in America, and that's the Second Amendment. That's the law of the land right there. I'm Irish. You're Irish. Well, that's fine. And you are frightened that everyone can own a firearm? Why are you frightened? Why? You don't think Americans should be able to defend themselves? What if somebody was to try to break into my house right now? What if a robber wanted to break into my house and steal my cell phone? I got a right to protect my property. I got a right to protect my wife, soon to be Karina. Karina could be kicking back there watching TV, and somebody decides they want to break into my house. Guess what? They're not going to have a good day if they do. Anyway, let's keep on with visas, guys. Let's go on with visas. Don't be afraid, by the way. N187. Do not be scared that Americans own guns. Be happy, because they might be out one day be protecting you from a bad person. Let's see. James Ray, I'm a little confused, Diego. I did hire a lawyer. Okay. My visa says ready. You're good to go. The lawyer says I have to wait for the instruction packet. You're talking about the packet from the embassy. Okay, well, here's what I would do, James Ray. I would email the embassy. In the subject line of the email, put your case number, invoice number, whatever you got, your beneficiary's name, date of birth, and all that. And say, hey, I'm ready. I've got everything ready to go. What do I do? Forget your immigration attorney right now. Forget about him, right? Just set him aside. Email the embassy. Tell the embassy, I'm ready to go. I've got my ready status. Please give me directions. The embassy will email you and tell you what to do. And you can start processing your visa. Great big minds. If Ma'am Karina, Senorita Karina, got to pay the fee in the bank, then that's like my country. Once it shows ready status at SEAC, then creating an account on U.S. Travel Docs, Colombia, and log in put in passport address point. Right. That's correct. Except you don't spell Colombia with a U. If you spell Colombia with a U, you're going to get in trouble with the Colombian people. Colombia is spelled with an O. Okay? So be careful how you spell Colombia, because you're going to make people mad in Colombia who are watching the show. Alex Mo, Diego, if you don't mind me asking, I think our cases are fairly close. What month are you on of the 3-month wait for the welcome letter? Well, I got my NOA2 dated May 30th, 2023. So 3 months from there will be September, first week of September. And right now we're on August 21st. So it's August 21st, 2023. So probably by September, somewhere in September. I'm not worried about it, because I know it's going to be here eventually, and it's going to be within 90, 100, 110 days, which puts it in the end of August, the beginning of September. I don't count days. Honestly, I don't count days. I just work around months. So in my mind, I'm looking at September. What day in September? No idea. But that's the month I'm looking at. Great Big Minds. Let's see. Then it lets you print the receipt, and that website tells you which bank to go to and pay. It's easy. There you go. That's right. Now I remember. For Colombia, you go in there, boom, you print the receipt, you go to the bank with the receipt, you pay the Murphy. That's it. That's how it works. I remember now. It's been 8 years, guys, since I've done this. So come on. Jason Mabry. Hey, Diego, I'm a musician too. Now I know you play guitar. Yeah, I play guitar, electric guitar. I have a gift for you. Come on now. When you go to Sanibel Island, Florida on our honeymoon, I will give it to you. Jason, you don't have to do that, my friend. You don't have to do that. Let's see. But it's appreciated. Paya, India. I am borderline heart attack here. Why? Why they take so long? Any other July 2023 filers? Paya, India. Don't let USCIS give you a heart attack. Okay? You're going to get your K1 visa. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. You just got to be patient. Relax. Chill. Change YouTube name. Let's see. Change YouTube name. Okay. Hen Horn. Check right as Zim Embassy closes. Phnom Penh time. That worked for me. There you go. Whatever that means. Retro Rockwell. I noticed that Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, does not allow you to pay for the visa through travel docs like other countries. Okay, this is good information to share with people. Will the embassy send instructions? Yes. The embassy will tell you how to do it. The embassy knows you're not a mind reader. They know you can't read minds. They're going to tell you how to do it. Great Big Minds, thank you so much. Wonder you didn't create the YouTube account for us. What my waiting time? And desperate level, but you always motivate and with authentic information, with time periods. Yeah, time is relative, right? Albert Einstein couldn't figure out time. He did a good job. He almost connected quantum physics, right, with relativity. The big stuff. The little stuff with the big stuff. He tried to connect the two, but he couldn't do it, right? It's like an immigration visa. You just got to go through the process. You can't make it go faster. You don't have a DeLorean. You can't go forward in time. You can't go backward in time. You're right now, today, right this second. You are right now in this moment, okay? And you got to wait for the next moment and the next moment, and then you get your visa. Let me see. Monica. I don't want to miss anybody here. Bricky Solomon. I made an appointment without getting an answer from France. So you're talking about the embassy in Paris. And I didn't submit the 160 form. Did you pay for the visa, Bricky Solomon? You made the appointment without getting an answer. You're talking about Paris, France. And I didn't submit the form. Did you pay for the K1 visa? Hen Horn, how many days do you have to set an interview appointment? I check every day. Well, if you've paid your visa, you got a year. If you've paid for the visa, they give you a year to get an interview. They'll just keep extending it until you get it. Monica Enoch, hi everyone. Does anyone or Diego know how long it takes to schedule an interview in Casablanca? After the MVC welcome letter, like how many months approximately? 2 to 4 months. Casablanca. One security squad. Is there anybody here doing any K1 with a Filipina? And where are you? No paperwork wise. And so we got one security squad needs help with a K1 visa for the Philippines. Now remember, when you do your K1 visa for the Philippines, no matter where your beneficiary lives, she has to go to Manila for the K1 visa interview. And she has to go to the St. Luke's Extension Hospital for the medical exam. Those are two things you got to know. And he also has to go through a class to leave the Philippines. Okay? In order to leave the Philippines, you got to go through a class. The Filipino citizen has to go through a class to prepare him or her for the new life in whatever country, whether it's America or whatever. I can't remember the name of that form, CPA, CMA, I can't remember what it's called. Jason Mabry, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration, has launched a new online form for individuals, attorneys, and accredited representatives to request an in-person appointment at their local field office. Okay, Jason, that is telling me that when you let's suppose you lost your green card. You're a green card holder and you lost it and you want to get a new green card. You got to set an appointment with an immigration officer. That's the way to do it. That's what the form they're talking about. Let's suppose you lost your naturalization certificate. You're American, but you're naturalized. You lost your certificate. You may have to go and set an appointment to get a new one. Okay? That's the form they're talking about. It's got nothing to do with K-1 visas. Nothing. Ashley, just tuning in. What did I miss? Ashley, you missed a lot. Don't be late. I'm kidding. But we got one security squad. He wants help with the K-1 visa for the Philippines. Jewel, I do my fiance's interview. Not until November. He had to do another medical test. Sounds like a sputum test for Jewel there. Monica Enoch, anyone here doing a K-1 from Morocco? Okay, guys, if you are from Morocco, help Monica here. Help her out. James Wright, current case creation time as of 21 August 2023. We are working on cases. Okay, now I don't pay any attention to what the NVC says or what USCIS says. To me, it's irrelevant. They tell you one thing and they do another thing. Okay? Just hang in there and wait your turn. You're in line. You're in queue. You're going to get your visa. Just wait it out. Chopper Harley, the earliest appointment in Cambodia is in November. Chopper Harley, thanks for that info. Mackenzie Owens, unfortunately, I didn't get NOA 2 yet, even though most people in my NOA 1 week have already gotten theirs. Does that mean my case is weak? No. It means you're still in line. You're still waiting for your turn. Doesn't mean it's weak. My K-1 visa was adjudicated. I filed in April of 2022, and I got my NOA 2 in May 30th, 2023. There were people who are right now getting visa interviews scheduled at embassies when their NOA 2 is the same as mine. Am I worried about it? No. I got a lot of stuff to look at in my K-1 visa, but it's already approved. It's just a process. Immigration doesn't go through an order. There's no pecking order, okay? They grab a visa, they process it. They grab a visa, they process it. There's no particular order. Michael Amadi, hey Diego, we just got our ready status from the UAE, United Arab Emirates. What's next? Okay, now what you need to do is email the embassy and tell them that you got the ready status, that they know you got it. We sent an email to the embassy. Okay, you did that. Okay, so now you're just going to wait for them to respond to you. When do you think we'll get an interview? I have no idea. United Arab Emirates shouldn't be difficult. I don't know when you can get an interview. Every embassy is different, but you will get an interview. You will. It takes about 8 weeks, 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, right in there. Did Yvonne, so you track your case on SEAC until welcome letter. You track your case in SEAC once you get the welcome letter. The welcome letter tells you to create the SEAC account. When you get the welcome letter from the National Visa Center, they are telling you now to create that account or to go into the SEAC and start the process. You're going to look for in transit. You're going to look for ready. Once you get ready, then you're going to pay for the visa. You're going to fill out the DS-160 and continue the process. But every embassy is different, guys. Ricky Kyo, hey, when do you expect to see NVC mail? The case I got is NOA 2, 19 July 2023. This month, early next month. You're close. You're getting there. Jewel to Michael Amati. Okay, so Jewel's talking to Michael. Nick Palomo. Good evening, Diego. We received our welcome letter. We received the ready status in the SEAC, but do not have an invoice number. Some embassies are not requiring it. Email the embassy and ask them for directions, Nick. Send them an email. Say, hey, I got my case number. What do I do? The embassy will tell you. They're going to, Ciudad Juarez, they'll tell you. You got to contact the embassy. Mackenzie, I love being a gun owner, but you have to not buy too many, or else it's just an extremely expensive hobby. Yeah, it's expensive. I'm actually trying to sell some guns for a plane ticket to see my fiance. Well, don't sell your best guns, Mackenzie. Don't, just sell your oldest ones. Alex Mo, yes, I support gun laws, Diego. Got that thing on him. Yeah, the Constitution of our country, written by our founding fathers, says you, Mr. American citizen, can own a gun, and the government cannot tell you not to. The government can't tell you not to own a gun. They can't. The Constitution protects you. So, you know, if you live in communist Venezuela, what was the first thing Chavez did? He took everybody's gun away. He said, oh, come on, we'll have this gun buyback program. But we'll buy your gun. We'll take it. We'll buy your guns back from you. And we'll give you, an appliance. We'll give you a dishwasher. We'll give you a food processor for your AK-47. And then when Chavez had disarmed the entire population of Venezuela, what did he do? He took over the country. With what? With his guns, with his military, right? That ain't going to happen in America. If the government tries to do that in America, it's not going to be pretty. Let's see here. HY, hi Diego, just got laid off from my job. I'm sorry to hear that. You're collecting unemployment. Are we going to need a second sponsor to fill out the affidavit of support? I have 3 years of tax transcripts. Is that enough? Yeah. Now remember, unemployment money counts as income for immigration purposes. They look at unemployment as income. Okay? But you got to meet the minimum income requirements. You got to meet them, especially when you file for the green card. If you don't have a job right now and you're collecting unemployment, get a joint sponsor. Trust me, get a joint sponsor. Britt Keith Solomon, I did pay online with my credit card, okay, for my fiance interview, but didn't know he has a travel document. Will expire 5 months from the interview. Hope it's not going to be a problem. What do you mean? I paid online with my credit card for my fiance's interview, but didn't know he has a travel document. What kind of travel document? What are you talking about? The K-1 visa is good for 6 months from the date of the medical exam. Chopper Harley to Hang Horn to Chopper Harley. They're talking about Cambodia. You guys help each other. Retro Rock and Roll. Yes, there you go. I click on Immigrant Visa tab on Ciudad Juarez. But when I input the info, it says the case number is not ready to schedule an interview. It says I need to wait for an appointment letter. Okay, so in your case, you got to wait for the embassy to send you an appointment letter. You got to wait for the embassy. Email the embassy and ask them for an appointment letter. Ask them for a status. Tress and W. Hello, Diego. Thanks for your videos. Good news. We got our ready status today. Very good. But not the letter. Can I set my appointment without the actual letter in hand? Go ahead and start. You're in Jamaica. NOA 2 was June 5th. Go ahead and start the process. Retro Rock and Roll. I believe once Ciudad Juarez receives my application, they will send paper welcome letter with instructions. They will. They have to. You got to know how to do this. Let's see. Lots of stuff going on. Philippines, help one security squad out. He needs help with the Philippines. Jason Mabry, as a December 2022 filer, does November 2023 for NOA 2 sound right? December 2022, I would say November 2023, maybe October. Yes. Let me see. One security squad, what do they want when it comes to income or W-2s? You got to meet the minimum income requirements, one security squad. You got to meet the minimum income requirements for the federal government, 100% for the embassy, 125% for the adjustment of status. But my recommendation is that you be at 125% plus at the embassy interview. Even though it says you got to be at 100% for the embassy interview because this is a non-immigrant visa, it's a K-1, you'll probably get your visa approved at 100%. But when you get to the United States, you got to be at 125%. Okay? My advice is this: if you are at 100% of the minimum income requirements, get a joint sponsor. Get it done. Have them fit out the I-134 so the immigration officer at the embassy can see that you are prepared for a joint sponsorship once you get to the United States, and then you're going to have a smooth process. Let me see. Is there a time limit for the DS-160? Yes, 30 days. Let me see. There's no available days in Paris. This is Britt Key Solomon until next 2 months. Okay, well, okay, so the embassy in Paris is saying in 2 months there's going to be an interview slots available. Get in there and get one of those slots. When it gets available, get one of those slots. Hester Milton, Diego, have you seen on the USCIS webpage that by December 2023 they want you to reduce the K-1 visa process to 6 months? That's correct. That's going to be a reality. That's correct. But remember this: they're still going to do the security checks twice, which could make it 8 months. So don't be surprised if it's 8 months, but 6 months is the goal. Ruby Arrive, we are very happy and excited. Well, we're glad for you. Whoopslap is talking with Security Squad Ashley. Has anyone tried to check status on SEAC without a case number? You can give it a shot. See what happens. Okay, I'm paging down, guys, so I don't miss your questions. Jill, hi Diego. Yes, you are right. My fiance is going back to get a sputum test. I figured in September. That's why his interview is moved to November, since the sputum test takes 2 months. His original interview was September 21st. So, Jill, it sounds like that he had a TB issue, and they have to make sure he's inactive. It's not going to stop you from getting the K-1 visa. It just means you got to wait a bit longer until he gets a sputum test with a negative inactive TB test. Once he's inactive, boom, he's good to go. Diddy Vaughn, what happens? Hi, Diego. What happens if I don't have money by the time my welcome letter? Will it cancel out? What if I don't have money by the time I get a welcome letter? What do you mean you don't have money? You got to pay for the visa. If you don't have money to pay for the visa, borrow it from your friend, from your family. Whoopslap is talking, but check Google income, 125%. See what it says. Right. 125% of the minimum income for a family of 3 for 2023 is $31,075. Okay. So if you have a family of 3, okay, you got to make at least $31,075 to qualify. My advice to you is be $2,000 above that. So be at $33,075, $34,000, $35,000, because immigration are getting very strict at the adjustment of status. People are sending in green card adjustment of status documentation, and they're over the 125% mark. And they're getting RFEs because immigration's telling them to get a joint sponsor, even though they qualify. I'm just trying to give you guys a heads up, okay, that when you adjust for the green card, you want to be at least $2,000 a month more than what they want in order to avoid getting an RFE for a joint sponsor. Just my opinion. It's only from what I see. It's from what I see, guys, from what I'm looking at. And Retro's talking to Nick Palomo. They're in the same boat together. Zoila Molina, hi Diego, I already received the welcome letter. Sorry, I don't know what's the next step. Okay, now you're going to create a SEAC account. Okay, you're going to look for ready status. You're going to look for in transit, and you're going to go into the SEAC account. Read the letter. What does the welcome letter say? What does it tell you to do? Read it. Read it carefully. It'll tell you what to do. Ashley, are K1 visa interviews different from tourist visas? I know that is taking a lot longer to get an interview for a tourist visa. A tourist visa, the interview, when you go for a tourist visa, the immigration officer wants to make sure you're coming back to your home country. Lots of people get a B2 tourist visa, fly to the United States, and get married to an American citizen sponsor, bypassing the K1 visa process. Okay, that's not good. And, it makes it harder to get a tourist visa for folks. So the tourist visa is more strict. The B2 visa is a lot more strict than the K1 visa interview. Okay. With the K1 visa interview, the immigration officer knows that you are flying one way to America to get married. There's no return trip. You're going one direction. You're going to get married. So the interview's easy. They know what you're going to do, and you've gone through the process. A B2 visa, immigration officers don't trust you. They think you're trying to scam the system. They do. Every one of them, every single B2 visa is a scam in regards to the immigration officer at the embassy. Because lots of people use it. And it hurts the process for everybody else. So let's go over some questions for the visa interview. Okay? Here are some questions for the K1 visa interview, and this one was held in the Manila, Philippines on August 10th, 2023. On August 10th, 2023, this was the visa questions at the face-to-face visa interview for this young lady. Question 1, what is your relationship to your petitioner? Question 2, what is your name? Question 3, what is your petitioner's address? Where does your sponsor live? What is his job? What does he do? Do you have a child with your petitioner? Do you have a child? Does your petitioner have a child? Do you both have a criminal record? Which country did you work in before? What year did you go there, and when did you come back to the Philippines? Are you both married before? Have you been married before? Did you get a U.S. visa before? Have you been to the United States as a tourist before? These are the questions that were just given to a young lady for her K1 visa interview on August 10th, 2023. I just read them straight off the list for you. All right, let me see what else we got. Ashley, I've answered your question. Whoop slap. Wait, Diego, I did hear something. DS-160 only expires if you don't submit it in a month. If you submit it, then it is good until the interview. Well, if you submit your DS-160 and your visa interview, if you don't, it's good for the interview. It only expires if you don't submit it. The thing to do with the DS-160 is this: once you've scheduled your K1 visa interview, then fill out your DS-160 and submit it. Problem solved. Let's see. Ashley, my fiance's parents have been waiting for months to get a tourist visa interview, and I just hope it's not the same for us. Dominican Republic, no. A tourist interview is totally different from a K1 visa interview. Diddy Vaughn, oh yeah, thank goodness I have the money saved, but I mean, like the worst case scenario, after 30 days, can you no longer file for the interview if you don't fill out the DS-160? Okay, let me explain it to you. This is the way to do this. Schedule the visa interview. First thing you're going to do is pay the visa fee. Pay for the visa. Immigration won't look at you. They won't give you the time of day until you've paid for the visa. Pay for the visa. Schedule the interview. Fill out the DS-160. Submit it. That's the way to do it. All right? Don't put the cart before the horse. Quit trying to rush. Everybody's in a rush. Got to get my DS-160 done. Why? First, you got to pay for the visa. Second, you got to schedule the interview. Third, you fill out the DS-160 and you submit it. If you do it in that order, you will not have any problems. Let me see. Diddy Vaughn. Oh, yeah. Okay. Daggy. Happy Monday, Diego. What's going on, Daggy? Any update on the I-134? The I-134 is the Declaration of Financial Support. And as of right now, you can still use the current edition for your embassy interview. Nothing's changed. James Wan, good news, Diego. The MVC responded. There you go. They said they are working my case. There you go. They will notify me once the case has been sent to the consulate in Mumbai. Woohoo! James Wan. So you followed my advice, right? And now you know where you are in the process. And you're not stressing it, right? You're not stressing this thing, right? Guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I've been chatting here for an hour and 15 minutes. Now, wait. Guy Trainer just hopped on. Guy Trainer, do you need to have all vaccines to get your K1 visa? No. You can get them in the United States, but you got to have the COVID. But my recommendation is to get them all done, okay? So you don't have to worry about it in the USA, because you must have all your vaccines up to date for the green card. If you don't have your vaccines up to date for the green card, you're not going to get your green card. They'll deny it. Okay, and don't try to get an exemption or a waiver or whatever reason, or unless there's a real strong medical reason. Get your vaccines done in your home country. Come to America, then you're ready to adjust your status for green card. You don't have to take your fiance, now your wife or husband, to a pharmacy to get vaccinations. Do you really want to spend your honeymoon with two sore arms because you had to get vaccinations? Right? Get it done in the home country. Then the arms will be healed up. It won't be sore. It won't be hurting. Everybody's good. And then when you get to America, you can focus on your wedding, not on vaccinations, not looking for this or looking for that. Daggy, we filled out the DS-160, and if it expires before the interview date, can we reapply it? The embassy required the DS-160 confirmation before we pay the MERV fee. Okay, so your embassy requires that you fill out the DS-160 before you pay. The embassy in Colombia says you got to pay for the visa, then fill out the DS-160. Every embassy is different. Nick Palomo to Retro Rock and Roll. Okay, you guys are connecting together. Daggy, sorry I came late. You're good. Britt Key Solomon, my fiance used a travel document but will expire in 5 months. A travel document for what? What are you talking about? A travel document. It's irrelevant. All you need to be worried about is your K1 visa getting in his passport. Travel documents are irrelevant. The K1 visa is the travel document. Are you talking about a passport? Passport. Is that what you mean? Bricky Solomon, your fiance has a passport that will expire in 5 months. You got to get it renewed. You got to have a minimum of, now I understand. No, it's not going to be good. The K1 visa will not be put into a passport with less than 6 months' time. You got to get a new passport. Your beneficiary has to get a new passport. Okay? Get that done, like tomorrow. Now I understand your question. Let's see. Jewel. Retro. Not yet. Everybody's chanting. That's good. Renee Riggs. It's so annoying they aren't sending instructions, not even sending a welcome letter. I understand. You only got the K1 FTP. Okay, now that means it's in transit. That means it's on the way to the embassy. It's in an airplane. Okay, guys? Whoopslap, Diego, can I talk to you sometime to discuss a military issue? You may have insight. Oh, you want to join the military? Is that the question? I'll help you join. If you want to join the military, you want to join? Britt Key Solomon, he's a refugee, so he doesn't have a passport. Okay, so he's a refugee, doesn't have a passport. There is a State Department form that he's going to have to fill out to put his K-1 visa on. If he doesn't have a passport as a refugee, that's okay. Okay, that's no problem. But he's going to have to get a DS form completed to put the K-1 visa on, which is treated as a passport. Okay, that's how you're going to do that. So don't worry if this travel document's going to expire. Don't worry about it. But you're going to have to get a DS form filled out. The embassy will help you with that. He needs to contact the U.S. Embassy and tell them what the status is on his travel document if he doesn't have a passport. He's going to have to tell them, my travel document expires in 5 months. Help me with the DS form. Okay? Let me see. Whoopslap, if you want to join the military, is that the question? Daggy, so can you please give me advice on DS-160? If it expires before the interview day, should it be redo it? Yeah, redo it. If it expires, you're going to have to redo it. Alex Mo, hey Diego, is scheduling taking a long time for interview in Dominican Republic? No, it's pretty quick. Alex Mo, hey Diego, no. Alex Mo, you're good. Dominican Republic, no problems. Whoopslap, you're a veteran. Well, thank you for your service, Whoopslap. Lozana Lashy, hey Diego, what are the exact steps after getting the NOA2? Lausanne, you wait for the welcome letter from the National Visa Center. It's about 3 months. Whoopslap, I'm a vet, but not sure if my other message was seen. Renee, this is K-1 visas, Whoopslap. Renee Riggs, I know K-1 FTP means in transit. There you go. SEAC says ready. Okay, but no one sends instructions. You got to wait. Send Renee Riggs. Send an email to the embassy. Okay, tell them you got the ready status. Identify the beneficiary by the case number and the invoice number, whatever you got, date of birth, name, etc., and say, give me directions. The embassy will tell you what to do. The embassy is in control of your visa once you get ready status. MVC is done. Once you get ready status, USCIS, done. MVC, done. It's all in the hands of the embassy. Okay, guys? So, no emailing the embassy until welcome letter. Alex Mo, send him an email. Ask him where is it. Okay, guys, I'm going to go and get some Mountain Dew. Thank you for the super chats. Okay, I hope you learned something today new. I hope you understood some new things. I hope you understand the DS-160. Okay, I hope you understand that every embassy has their own way of doing things. Okay, the U.S. embassies around the world. The Philippines is different from Colombia. Colombia is different from Peru. Peru is different from Indonesia. All right? Everybody's different. You just got to be proactive, get in touch with the embassy, and ask that embassy, what do I do? Britt Solomon, when does he need to ask, during his interview or before the drop? Britt Key Solomon, tomorrow, your beneficiary needs to contact the embassy and explain that his travel document will expire in 5 months and that he needs a DS form. I can't remember the name of it, but there's a DS form that is used instead of a passport. Okay, guys? See you guys on, what's today? Monday? See you on Wednesday. And we will keep on going and keep on trucking, and we're going to get you through this process. You just got to be patient. See you guys on Wednesday.